Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in, and I do appreciate your support. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. So lately I've been doing a lot of lights, obviously with the change of 9.18. Lights have changed quite a bit. Arty obviously has changed quite a bit, so I've been running a lot of lights, and the heavies have been getting not so much love. So I have a heavy battle for you here. I am in my T26E5 platooned with Rocket. We are bottom tier on a 3.57, and this shows a pretty good example of a couple things. Number one, with the new setup of 3.57, there's plenty of targets out there that your tier 8 or any bottom tier that you're running can engage, and you can do pretty well doing that. In addition to that, this is also a good example of some of the few maps that actually have a couple pieces of critical terrain. So we have loaded into Tundra, as you can see right here, and down on the mini map, we'll make this bad boy bigger. The two pieces of key terrain on this are obviously the hill over here and then the west side in this alley. I think most of us would agree that the hill is slightly more important, but this side of the map actually is important as well on this map. Because if you do get pushed through, or they push through on this side, you can find yourself flanked. So these are the two flanking sides. Watching the middle is important. Not letting infiltrators come up through the middle right here and get behind you is also important, but that's not the critical terrain. It's this hill and over here. You can see by our matchup that we're running with two 110E5s, Batchat on the top, and they've got an E100 Mouse and a TVP, so they're a bit more beefy on top than we are. If you think about it, then you would suspect probably their big beefy heavies would go over to the west and their lighter tanks would go over to the east. As we start moving in here, you'll note that the 110E5, at least one of them is coming our way. The other one's heading down towards the middle. You'll note also that the west side is fairly weak as far as what we're sending over there. We have a couple TDs, looks like the 100.01 in the Batchat. So I talked about a little bit about match assessment right here, and you've got to take into account, we'll stop for the moment as we start the battle on the hill because they have invested quite a few tanks. When you start, you look at your team setup, which I just did. Make a quick assessment. I bet their really heavy stuff's going to be over in the west. Now, since we're pretty light, it looks like we've all raged over to the east. So now in Rocket and my mind at this point is we need to get this hill, kill as much of these guys as we can, and then push into them because it's not going to be very long before the west falls. And we really don't want a Mouse and an E100 driving up behind us. So let's see how that pans out. I'll just take a snap on that guy. Unfortunately, I've pressed 2 like a noob, and I have forgotten to get rid of it because I'm really fighting a bunch of light stuff here, up here, and initially I don't need it. So being careful, we got the 110E5 kind of doing the spearhead thing, pushing in, getting some attention, and now we have more or less counterattacked the hill. I say counterattack, neither team really ever established control of it. We did get a couple guys on our side, they got at least 2 on their side, but now we are pushing into them because they don't have any real big beef backing them up right now. The Emil is firing away, so I'm pretty sure he's either out or very close to out of shells, so I'll get in there and take my shot. The 416 does hit me, that's fine, I'll get one more shot on him. The 416 has terrible gun depression, so he's going to have a hard time hitting me. I can see the IS-3 was looking, and you can tell the Emil is running away because he doesn't have any more shots. So I'm going to come around here, try to force the issue with the IS-3. He runs away, lap him as he runs away, and now you can tell the enemy is running away bravely from the hill right here. And I'm thinking at this point, like the old lady in the hamburger commercial, back when I was a kid, where's the beef? I don't know where those guys are. Where are they? They're not even spotted yet. They are having a decent push into the west side, so I'm suspecting maybe they're over there. Their two T26E5s are at least. Where on earth are their big tanks? And so now the assessment is, I said to myself at the beginning, I think the big heavy tanks are all going to be on the west. We need to take this hill, and then we need to do something with it. Once you take a piece of key terrain, what you do next is what determines the battle. Just simply taking the piece of key terrain rarely wins the battle, unless the fight for it was so substantial that you really knock down the other team. Close in this case because we did take out 4 and only lost 1, so we're pretty well ahead. And now we own 3/5, moving on to 4/5 of the map. Where on earth are their heavies? Still the E100 and the Mouse have not been seen. Now we got a Udes up in front of me here. I'm going to go ahead and use this little knoll right here. You can see as I'm moving in, I'm just using that as protection so he doesn't shoot me. Not the most amazing tactical move, but it is something important to think about. And now I'm just going to protect myself as much as possible and just shoot into the top of there. He ends up bouncing it. I'm out of gold because I'm a noob. Just come in here and start shooting this guy right on top of there on that thin armor. He's having a hard time kind of targeting me. It's hard to tell if he's actually fighting with his travel or siege mode and what he's doing. He finally gets a shot off and I bounce it, and that's that great turret armor of the T26E5. Hey, there they are. There's the mouse. There's the E100. And I'm moving up here into this area. The R110E5 is taking the fight to them. This is a bit tricky right here to use because it is a very flat piece of land. It seems like it might be nice to get up to that track right there and start shooting down on the 100 and the 50-51. But you'll note that as I get closer, it's flat enough that these tanks sitting back over by their cap are able to take shots on me. So I'll get a shot on the mouse. I shoot him in the turret foolishly. So I'll switch and go to the hull, which is softer. There we go. At least a flat plate from the side. Switch up to the back of the turret, can't even bounce that. And I've taken a hit from the T30. The T30 becomes very enamored of me. Decides that I am the guy to shoot. Pointing. And that actually can be a benefit to the team. You're in the lower tier tank. As long as you can avoid being killed. I'll actually not kill him there. And he's busy pointing at me. Well, that's fine. Oh, there he goes. He actually got the T110. Good on him. So let's use that 110 now as a little bit of armor. Yeah, he's really just staring at me here. That was a bad shot. Ended up bouncing. Just try to spoil any shots he might have here. Well, there's the 416. Ow, he got me. Take out the 416. Now he's got a long reload, the T30. Plus he's now busy with somebody else. So take a shot in his side. And now I'm just going to preserve, move back. Lucky bounce right there, so yay, I didn't die. Could have easily done so. And it was a gold round, so double yay. Alright, now we've got the E100. The T30 is busy. And I'll push in here as the E100 backs off. And really it's just cleanup time. There's still a couple of their tanks that have pushed through over with the VK and the Scorpion. The E100 is busy looking that way, and I'm just popping him in the side of the turret. Hold down using the tracks and the little hill right there. That guy's running away. I'll auto aim and just fire. That's a great time when auto aim can be used. If you notice, as that tank was running straight away, there was no right to left or left to right movement, no lateral movement. That's a great time for auto aim because it doesn't require any real lead fire. The other thing that's nice about it is all those bushes make it hard to really see what you're aiming at. You can get the highlight, but sometimes it's sort of difficult to know. Just auto aim and fire away. Got him on the top of the turret. And all we've got is the 5041 and the 103. What's interesting here, and I'll just go two times speed, chipmunk speed here, is I get lazy. I'll push up here, and I'm expecting the 5041 to die any moment. I'm goofing off. Get on cap. Now I won't get on cap. See if I can get a shot here. He's up on top. No. Doesn't look like I have a shot. He's still screwing around. Surely the Batchat 12T, full hit points is no. And so he's still alive, trolling around in there. Had I moved much earlier and just went straight after the hit points when the battle was basically won there, I might have got that shot and I might have got that kill. So it's just something to think about rather than sit on cap or sit around waiting for somebody to kill another tank. Just keep moving towards them because you never really know what's going to happen. He may live and survive like that guy did. I may have got one more kill and another 60 hit points or whatever he was rolling on at that point. So an example of heavy gameplay, still in the new meta here, still works. Assessing the enemy's team, assessing where you think they're going to go, and then adjusting on the fly as things don't go either as you thought, or if they do go as you thought, you can adjust as well. You'll note that I said I thought the super heavies would be on the west side. They ended up trolling around the middle for whatever reason. They may have actually been headed over to the west and noted that their hill was being completely swarmed and turned back around, and that was probably their best move. So whether they actually camped to the middle there or turned back around, either way we were able to catch them out once we swarmed around them and had them surrounded right there. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, if you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe, and otherwise we will see you.